all, welcome to Shamu's Gyan EdTech Educational Tools for All. This is the second part of Nearport, and in this video we will see the user interface and how to launch a lesson in Nearport. This is the user interface of Nearport. This is the page where we land when we log into our account. And here I have got my profile picture and other details. And here there is an important feature we need to explore. It's the lesson settings. Let's see what's there in lesson settings. And here in this page we can find that I am a silver user of Nearport. And for a silver user we can use only up to 100 MB space. And I have used almost 56.1 MB there. And if I want to clear my space, I will have to delete a few of my lessons. And here under the heading profile, under the tab profile, I can edit my profile and add my details there. And here I have an option advanced, and this is where I would like to bring your attention to. Here we have a feature enable immersive reader, which is a feature powered by Microsoft, and it shows that this is a beta function, and this one is very much helpful to our learners. They can read everything that's seen on a screen using this immersive reader. And here it's given improved reading and comprehension on all Nearport created slides and select activities. This is very important because this cannot function in a slide created using Google Slides or some other PPT slides. This will work only if you have the slide created using Nearport. And here there is an option enable students notes, and if I enable this function, students will be able to get their notes by entering their email ID. But unfortunately this feature is a premium feature, and this is available only for school edition. So if you have a Nearport school account, this will work, and since I don't have that Nearport school account, this will not work. So the only way my students or my learners can take notes of the sessions are that by using a screenshot or something like that. They can go for screenshots and get a copy of my slides. And here you have option like show multiple choice questions and quiz questions in student paced mode, and I have enabled the feature. Again, I don't want my students to resubmit the answers in live participation mode. That's why I have not enabled this function, this button. And here I want my students to work on the collaborative board even if the lesson is launched in a student paced mode, and that's why this feature is enabled. And student submissions are required, and that's why I have enabled this feature. So these are the things we should know in this advanced feature. And now we will go back to the user interface. Here we have an option quick launch next to my profile, and this quick launch is that we have got 4 options there. Actually the activities, open-ended question, timer, draw it or collaborate, this is also a beta feature actually, and this helps you to launch something immediately on the go. If you are with a lesson and if you feel like you need to give them a question in between, you can use this option. Or if you want to set a timing for your timer for your activities, you can go for this. So that's something quick launch. And here you have the option to create lessons using Nearport or Google Slides or even interactive videos, or create a new folder. And this page is my library. You can see that it's here, my library, and again the tab is highlighted here, my library. And this is a space for my lessons. The lessons I create or the lessons I have taken from Nearport. Here you can see a lesson poetry analysis caged bird, this lesson, and this lesson is one I have taken from Nearport repository. And if you want to search something from my library, my lessons, I'll search as tilt. I have some lessons tilt, and if I search it, I'll get those lessons here. So this is how I can search if I've got so many lessons and I'm confused. And here, similar to my library, there's another option, Nearpod Library, which will take you to the resources Nearpod has. And this Nearpod Library is a repository of Nearpod collection of lessons. And here you can search it featured by publisher, lessons, videos, premium packages and everything is given there. And here you have filters to apply, like if you want to search some lessons, you can search the lessons here. I'll search a lesson Macbeth. Let me see if I can find a lesson Macbeth. So I have two lessons Macbeth. One is Macbeth and another is Analyzing Macbeth. So we have two lessons in ELA. And you have more filters, like you can categorize, you can find out lessons by subject wise or grade wise or resource type and everything. You can just explore all those things. And here, when you find some lesson that you can be used in your classroom, you can just add it to your classroom. You can add it to your classroom. You can later edit if you want to customize it for your needs. And what I'll do first is that I'll go for a preview of the lesson to see the content of the lesson and to decide if that's required for my class or not. So here, when I go for the preview, I have two options here, share preview and add to my library. So once my preview is over, if I find it okay, I can just click on this option and add the lesson to my library. And these are the things that are included in the lesson. I have got some 28 slides here. If I would like to share this preview with some other teachers to collaborate, I can just share it with teachers. I can mail them, or I can share them using the following options, like sharing the social, sharing it via social networking sites, Twitter, Facebook or Pinterest, sharing the link or embedding the link, and or via Remind. Remind is nothing but a message application that can be used by parents and learners, and teachers can send them messages using Remind. And here I'll just try to add this to my lessons, and now it shows it will get reflected in my library, and I get an option like show in my library. So if I want, I can launch it, I can see it here itself, but I think I'll go back to my my library where we were earlier with the lessons. Let me see whether that lesson has got added to my library. So it's here, Macbeth, the lesson. And this is how you can add a content to your space. And if you want to customize this, if you want to edit this, you are about to edit a downloaded lesson, and they recommend to keep an original of it and then to edit it, so that I can duplicate the lesson, take a copy of it, and then I can go for editing. I can add my own content there. And here we have some settings, like I can share this with my teachers as we had earlier. I can duplicate the lesson, I can add it to a folder or export it as a PDF. I can just check the reports of this session, and again, if I don't want this content, I can delete, so that I can clear some space in my library. And here we have the option reports, the same option I have here, reports. And this option will help me fetch the reports of all my sessions and post-session reports. Here I can find that I have these many lessons in my library, and here I have got some 24 slides of and I can see all those sessions when this session was handled. And here I have something handled at 9:40, and I have got 3 students. If I check on all those things, I can get a detailed report. Here I can find a summary and the students who participated in the lesson, in the session. Here the quiz questions and the answers and everything, and just some dummy quiz questions are added, some poll and open-ended question, match the following. You can just click on these arrows and find out the detailed report. Matching pairs, collaborative board, time to climb, filling the blanks, interactive board and everything. And if you want to share this to somebody or even to your mail ID, you can just add your mail ID and send. or if you want to send to somebody else, you can enter the email ID there and you can send that. And if you want to get a detailed report, you can just go for downloads and you can get a copy of that. You are a session wise PDF or student wise PDF for CSV of the session. You can just get everything there. So this is how we generate a report there. Now we will go back and see how to launch a Nearpod lesson. So it's very easy, very simple to launch a Nearpod lesson. You have 3 ways to launch a lesson. You can find it here. The first option is live participation plus Zoom, which is a beta feature. But unfortunately, this doesn't work properly. I tried, and this is like when you try to open this will ask you whether it has to be connected to a Zoom session. So this has an active session. You want to resume it as okay. Yes, I'll give that option. Yes, my lesson is ready, and here I can find the 5-lettered code of my session, and here I have an option, make this a Zoom meeting. So if I enable this option, create your Zoom meeting, and if I click on this will direct me to a Zoom session. And each Zoom session includes a waiting room, and each link contains an embedded passcode for additional protection and everything they have given there. And I can share this with my learners via email or social networking or link or Google Classroom or Remind or Microsoft Teams. And when my learner joins the session using this 5-letter code, the learner will be prompted to join the Zoom session of this lesson, and they can join the session. That's how it works. But unfortunately, this beta feature doesn't work properly because I tried and found that doesn't work. Learners are teachers can get into a Zoom session, but I don't find any learners in the waiting room or anything. So I don't think that works. And here I have the second option, live participation. Live participation is that you can launch the Nearpod lesson for your learners on the spot. So here I have already tried this live participation, though that's why I am given some messages like you want to resume the session. So this is how I can launch my session. If you imagine you are a teacher with an online session, and you can just launch the session there and share this code with your learners, and they can immediately join the Nearpod session via their devices just by giving the code, going to their Nearpod application. They can give this code and join the session. And there is one more option, student paced mode, in which you leave the session, you launch a new session, you launch a session in student paced mode, so that students can learn the lesson, join the session and see the activities, do the activities, and they can get the benefit of it at their own convenience. So this is the code you will have to share with them when you go for a student paced mode. And here we have got some options like the duration they can access these sessions, and here you can just increase the duration, or if you don't want to increase the duration, you can decrease the duration. Like, so if I have given it as till December 2020, 31st December 2020, which means that 134 days remaining. So I don't want them to do, I want them only till November 30th, I can do that. Or if it's till November 10th, I can just set it that way, and I can just give that apply, so that my session would expire in another 83 days. And that's how a teacher can set a lesson in a student paced mode. And if you want to go for a preview of this lesson, you have option here where you can go for a preview and see if some editing has to be made, and if something has to be changed, you can go for editing and make the changes. So thank you so much, friends. See you with my next video, how to create your content, your lessons using Nearpod. So take care. Bye bye.